Howdy, this is Aardvark Tax TV. I'm Sean Kennefick, an enrolled agent and customer service representative here at Aardvark Tax. In this video, we're going to talk about CTEC and the Franchise Tax Board. This video is part of a complete continuing education course available at our website, www.aardvarktax.com. If you're a tax preparer in California, you need to know about CTEC. CTEC is the California Tax Education Council, and they are a quasi-public organization that has been recognized by the state of California to ensure that tax preparers in our state are knowledgeable and ethical. If you're an enrolled agent, attorney, or certified public accountant, you're considered certified already, and you are exempt from CTEC regulations. But if you aren't one of those kinds of certified individuals, you must follow CTEC rules if you prepare taxes, or you will be in violation of California law. To prepare taxes in California, you need to be registered with CTEC. This involves taking a 60-hour qualifying education course, obtaining a $5,000 surety bond, and registering on the CTEC website. Once you have registered, you are required to take 20 hours of continuing education a year from that point forward, 15 hours of which are applicable to your federal tax preparation, including updates in ethics, and 5 hours of which are directly applicable to California tax. Once you have taken your education, your provider will submit the hours to CTEC and you will be able to renew your registration. You are required to renew your registration every year by October 31st, with a grace period of 2.5 months following that. CTEC is very strict about its deadlines, and if you miss the January 15th grace period date, they will consider that you missed a year of renewing your registration. Generally speaking, CTEC will make you redo the 60-hour qualifying education course if you miss a year of renewing your CTEC registration. If you are unsure of the status of your CTEC registration, please contact CTEC directly and immediately so they can look up your file. It's very important for you to understand who is responsible for maintaining your active CTEC registration. It's you. While we report your hours promptly to CTEC, you are responsible for actually going to ctec.org and renewing your registration with them. If your registration is expired, you must take the 60-hour course again. So always remember that it's your responsibility as a professional to keep your CTEC registration active. Some people put off taking their education until the day it's due. This is a mistake because not only must you take your education by that day, but you must also renew your registration online. By leaving the education to the last day, you take the risk that the provider might not be able to report it in time. Surety bonds that require renewal also take several days. If either your provider hasn't provided the results or you don't have a completed surety bond, CTEC will not allow you to re-register, and you may end up having to take the 60-hour qualifying course again. So what exactly is CTEC registering you to do? They are registering you to prepare both federal and California income tax while you are working within the state of California. If you do not reside and work in the state of California, you are able to prepare California tax returns without being CTEC registered, as long as you are following the laws and rules of your own state. There are now several states that require continuing education and certification or registration. Other states will surely join, as evidence has shown that registering or licensing tax preparers greatly reduces the amount of mistakes that preparers make when they prepare returns. The IRS also requires tax preparers to register themselves through their PTIN program. For a brief time, they required that tax preparers take continuing education, but that requirement was challenged in court and the IRS lost. In its stead, the IRS has created an optional certification that is not as rigorous to achieve as that required by enrolled agents. Luckily, the IRS recognizes CTEC registration as an adequate entry into their optional program, called the Annual Filing Season Program, and registered California tax preparers are exempt from having to do additional continuing education and testing requirements. For more information about the AFSP program, check out the IRS website for practitioners at www.irs.gov/tax-professionals. While CTEC manages the preparers who prepare tax returns in California, they are not responsible for the collection of taxes itself. That job belongs to the Franchise Tax Board, otherwise known as the FTB. You may recognize the name from your check registry after writing checks for due tax or estimated taxes. The Franchise Tax Board acts as California's version of the IRS. They interpret laws written by the California legislature and codify those laws into the tax rules that people and corporations must follow when paying taxes in California. They are also responsible for creating and maintaining the California tax forms and managing changes for those tax forms from year to year. If California audits you, it's representatives from the FTP who will perform the audit, and it's to the FTP that you will pay any extra taxes and penalties. The Franchise Tax Board is only responsible for income tax and doesn't collect property taxes, sales, or use taxes. Those are collected by different parties, respectively. Property taxes are collected by county treasurers, and sales and use taxes are collected by the California State Board of Equalization. The Franchise Tax Board has wide reach into the data that we make available to our local and federal governments. For instance, the FTB exchanges data with participating cities, and that allows them to identify self-employed individuals who might have been required to file a business income tax return but have not. As quid pro quo, the state gives data back to the cities that help them identify businesses that may have a local business tax filing requirement. The IRS and FTB also have an arrangement like this so that the feds can know if you need to have a state return, and the state can know if you need to file a local one. Additionally, if you amend a return or are adjusted by one of the agencies, all of the other agencies are typically notified of this adjustment. The FTB is part of our daily lives in some other ways as well. For instance, the state has authorized the FTB to collect court-ordered debt. If you have a state refund, for instance, but are behind on paying your child support, the FTB might withhold your refund in order to give it to the person to which you owe the money. In another case, the FTB might withhold your refund if you haven't paid your vehicle registration fees, even if it's not court-ordered. The Franchise Tax Board is part of the California Government Operations Agency. This board is composed of the California State Controller, the Director of the California Department of Finance, and the Chair of the California Board of Equalization. The Chief Administration Officer is the Executive Officer of the Franchise Tax Board. The current Executive Officer of the Franchise Tax Board is Selvi Stanislaus, the first woman to ever hold the post. She assumed this position in 2006. There have only been 3 other executive officers before her, even though the office was created in 1950. Both CTEC and the FTB are located in Sacramento, California. You can reach CTEC by phoning 877-850-2832 or going to their website at www.ctec.org. And you can reach the FTB by calling 800-852-5711 or going to their website at www.ftb.ca.gov. This video has been part of a continuing education course available at www.aardvarktax.com. The course has been approved by the IRS and other governing agencies like California CTEC and Oregon Board of Tax Practitioners. But just viewing this video won't give you the credit you need for your government agencies. Be sure to register for this course or any of our other courses by going to the aardvarktax.com website. And then we'll report your successful completion to the government agencies after you finish the course.